The 2020 Victorian Architecture Awards are proudly supported by BlueScope, Brickworks, and Dulux, Lysart, Fielders, and Bondor, Built Environment Channel, Planned Cover, and Architecture Media, as well as AWS, Bates Smart, City of Melbourne, Crefeld, Dormacaba, Heritage Council of Victoria, Mackay Timber, Office of the Victorian Government Architect, RMIT, University of Melbourne, and WSP.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the 2020 Victorian Architecture Awards live stream. I'm Viv O'Connell, and it is my great pleasure to be your host this evening as we celebrate architecture across Victoria. And while we might not all be gathered together in Melbourne this evening as we'd normally be in any other year, I can think of no better way to begin this evening than with a welcome to country from Gheran Yarraman Steel, Boonwurrung traditional owner from the Eastern Kulin Nation.
Womanjeka Merembik Boonwurrung Ownder Barupton Atwillam. Come with purpose to my beautiful home, land of the two bays. My name is Gheran Yarraman Steel, and I'm a proud descendant of the Boonwurrung people of the Kulin Nations. It is my duty here today to welcome you to country, but more specifically to ask that you come to my country with purpose. That word, Womanjeka, is not so much the meaning of welcome, but rather a directive for you to come with purpose. So think about why you're here. Now, purpose is a really interesting thing. It's something that needs to be bigger than ourselves. And it also has to be something that is beneficial to our community. So think about your presence and how it relates to those two things. Now, according to the stories of the Boonwurrung, the lands where we meet today were created by Bunjil. Bunjil is our creator spirit and travels as the eagle. Now, Bunjil not only created the lands of the Kulin and the Kulin, but he also created our Wurrungi Bik. And our Wurrungi Bik dictate that we have to ask all guests to make two promises. The first one is to not harm the land or the children of Bunjil. The second promise is to honour and respect our Wurrungi Bik, our laws of the land. This includes our laws about community, our laws about knowledge, and our laws about honouring sacred ground. If we can commit ourselves to these two promises, I can say, once again in the words of my ancestors, Womanjeka Merembik Boonwurrung Ownder Barupton Atwillam. Welcome to my beautiful home, land of the two bays. Thank you, everyone, and have a good time.
Thank you, Gheran. Well, the situation across Victoria has obviously changed very dramatically and quickly over the course of the last week or so. So I hope that wherever you may be watching this evening, that you, your friends, your family and your colleagues are safe and well, and you're taking care of each other. We also hope that tonight, no matter where we may be, we can reflect on the extraordinary work of the Victorian members of the Institute of Architects, to celebrate that work and to share it not only with people across Victoria but across Australia and also overseas, because there is a lot to celebrate. This evening we'll be seeing over 100 projects across 14 categories. We'll also be awarding prizes unique to the Victorian event, including the award of the Victorian Architecture Medal. And we'll be hearing from a lot of the members tonight as well, so thank you to all of the practices that have sent through the shout-out videos. We're looking forward to playing them as the night goes on. And of course, we'll be crossing live to the winners of the prizes and also the named awards, the highest honour in each of the categories. So please keep an eye out for a Skype call because we would love to have a chat with you. So why don't we get started with the very first live cross. I believe we have the immediate past president of the Victorian chapter, Amy Muir, on the line. Hello,
Hi,
Amy.
Hello, how are you?
Thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Oh, well, yeah, it's lovely.
It's a very
As
different
always.
Very different
strange,
format.
but please.
That's right. Now, Amy, do you have a message for the members watching this evening?
Oh yeah, Viv. I was actually really struggling with this year, and as obviously the situation of Victoria has incrementally been changing over the last week, I still really struggle to talk without data and without slides. So we've had to go a little bit low tech. We've got placards tonight in lieu of slides, but I just thought I'd go through a couple of things that might cover off the year to date. So, but before I begin, I'd really like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of country throughout Australia, and in particular the people of the Kulin Nation. And I recognise their continued connection to land, waters and communities, and pay my respects to them, their elders, both past, present and emerging. So it is a little bit low tech, but this awards, we're very lucky. We're recognising in Victoria, we're recognising the 8 registered Aboriginal parties of Victoria that all the shortlisted projects were located in this year. Every year I also like to check in and see where we got to with our gender balance on our juries, and this year, bang on. Great job, Awards Committee. Thank you very much. And the awards, the 2020 awards, we basically had 183 projects, and this equates to a total of $3.5 billion in construction costs. In Victoria, in 2019, we had a total value of 38.3%. So if we look at that against the value of the 2020 awards, we effectively see a 9.1% contribution to the Victorian construction industry. Having to pull up here we go, next slide.
I'm liking this, Amy. It's very Bob Dylan.
This is like, and I'm reading it backwards as well.
You're doing extremely well. Keep on going. Who needs PowerPoint?
No, exactly. Forget it. Behavioural changes. So this year before COVID, let's call that BC19. So on average, people are ordering takeaway food at 7:06 p.m. COVID-19, let's refer to that as C19. This is adjusted to 6:23 p.m. So we've found ourselves an extra 43 minutes in the evening, let's call it. And then BC19, we have on average full-time employee spent 70 to 80 hours in the home. So this equated to 45% of their time over a 7-day week. C19, we're seeing an average full-time employee spend 150 hours in the home. So now this is equating to 89% of their time in the home. Okay, so this is a statistic I reported on last year. So BC19, we had 68 million online food orders in that year. C19, as of June 2020, we're seeing an increase of 234%. So I think if we project that figure forward, we might see 159 million online food orders for 2020. 40% of Victorians are homeless due to lack of housing, and 35% of them due to family violence. Average cost to government is 30% less if we house the homeless as opposed to leaving them on the street. Being housed, we see on average a 52% reduction in criminal offending. We see a 40% reduction in time spent in police custody, and we see a 65% reduction in the use of mental health services. This is the time to be building sustainable and caring communities. And this is the time to be building for legacy through activity, not building activity for activity's sake. every opportunity is an opportunity to be getting it right. Reach out, remind people that you're there. Together, we will weather the storm. And take care. Thanks, Viv.
Thank you so much, Amy, for joining us. I know you're going to be watching this evening, and thanks for that message to the members. Hope to catch up with you sometime soon. All the best for the next several weeks.
Thanks, Viv.
G'day from ARM.
G'day.
How you doing?
Hi everyone.
G'day.
G'day, mate.
Welcome.
G'day.
We're ARM Architecture.
Look out!
Look out!
Oh no!
Gotta get on.
Charge.
Go get him.
And you're watching the Victorian Architecture Awards.
Thanks, ARM. Great work there, and definitely among the most creative we've seen in all the awards announcements so far. Thank you. We'll begin with two important prize announcements, the first of which is the Victorian Emerging Architect Prize. This prize recognises an individual or collaboration's contribution to architectural practice, education, design excellence and community involvement, advancing the profession's role within the public arena. And the winner is considered for the National Emerging Architect Prize, which will be announced a little bit later in the year. And a very big shout out to Rodney Eggleston from March Studio, who is the current National Emerging Architect Prize recipient. I hope you're enjoying the night so far. So without any further ado, who is it for this year? Tom Mackenzie from Winwood Mackenzie Architecture. Establishing Winwood Mackenzie in 2011 after working for some notable local and international practices, Tom produces architecture that contributes to the cultural landscape of Australia. A series of sensitive alterations and additions strongly underpins an office built from the ground up. In 2019, he co-produced the Hearing Architecture podcast, which has expanded the reach of public discourse for contemporary Australian architecture. And his ongoing passion for research and teaching speaks to his invaluable commitment to inspire future generations of architects. Congratulations, Tom Mackenzie. And I am joined now by Tom on Skype. Congratulations, Tom.
Hi, Viv. How you going?
Yeah, I'm really good. How are you going there?
Good, thanks.
Well, look, congratulations on receiving this year's Emerging Architect Prize. Can I ask you firstly, how does it feel?
It feels fantastic, thanks. There's so many people I could thank, and obviously it's a bit strange now in Melbourne, but I just wanted to thank everyone at the Institute and everyone at Imagine and at Monash Uni who have been so supportive over the years.
Excellent. And look, Tom, obviously you have a great passion for sharing the work of architects with the broader community, particularly through the podcast that was just mentioned there. Can you tell me a little bit about, what it is you love about being an architect?
I feel very fortunate to be an architect in Victoria and in Australia more broadly, and I think we do fantastic work and make a valuable contribution to the community, and I think it's really great to be part of that conversation and communicate that more broadly.
Excellent. And obviously you're now going through for consideration for the National Emerging Architect Prize, so all the very best with that. That's coming a bit later in the year. Is there anything else you'd like to say before I let you get back to kicking back and enjoying the show?
Just thank you very much, and thank you to all my clients and mentors and to my family and everyone who's been so supportive.
Oh, wonderful. Well, look, congratulations once again, and I do hope you enjoy the rest of the night. All the very best.
Thanks, Viv.
And now to the Bates Smart Award for Architecture in Media. After a 3-year hiatus, the Victorian Chapter and Bates Smart are pleased to see the return of this prestigious award. Established in 1986 for journalists, editors, producers and event organisers working in the field of architecture and design. And we have this message from Kian Davis from Bates Smart.
Good evening, everyone.
Bates Smart is extremely proud to support the Australian Institute of Architects. The Bates Smart Award for Architecture in the Media is designed to increase public engagement and awareness of the profession within Australia. Open to journalists, producers, event organisers and editors, the award hopes to increase the quality of debate about architecture and urban design issues within the country. We would like to thank all of the entrants and wish them all the best of luck.
Our City, Our Square by Citizens for Melbourne. Beaumaris Modern, Modernist Homes in Beaumaris by Fiona Austin, Simon Reeves, Alison Alexander and Melbourne Books. International Indigenous Design Charter by Jeffa Greenaway, Russell Kennedy, Megan Kelly and Brian Martin. RMIT Design Archives Journal, Volume 9, Number 2, Robin Boyd Redux. Journal editors Karen Byrne and Harriet Edquist. Future West, Australian Urbanism by Timothy Moore with UWA's School of Design. And Influence, Edmund and Corrigan and Peter Corrigan by Vivian Mitsagiani and Patrick Macassayet, editors. Thanks, Kian. The award entries this year have been considered for either state or national awards, based on state or national relevance, and the jury has also included an advocacy award for this year. So, without any further ado, the advocacy award goes to Our City, Our Square by Citizens for Melbourne. The state award goes to Beaumaris Modern, Modernist Homes in Beaumaris by Fiona Austin, Simon Reeves, Alison Alexander, Melbourne Books. And the National Award goes to International Indigenous Design Charter by Jeffa Greenaway, Russell Kennedy, Megan Kelly and Brian Martin. Congratulations to you all.
Hi, we're Bates Smart and you're watching the Victorian Architecture Awards.
Thank you, Bates Smart. And now to the main awards categories, which will go through for consideration by the national jury for a National Architecture Award later in the year. And the first category of this evening is the Enduring Architecture Award, which recognises architecture that has stood the test of time. It is given to buildings of outstanding merit, which, when considered in a contemporary context, remain important as high-quality works of architecture, works that are significant examples of creative leadership. And recent examples of the award in Victoria have included ICI House, NGV, McIntyre House or the A-Frame House, University South Lawn Car Park, Infill Housing Program, Yarra Footbridge at Southbank, and of course last year's recipient, Melbourne Terrace Apartments by Katsalides Architects. The Enduring Architecture Award is supported by the City of Melbourne, and it is my pleasure to hand over to the Right Honourable Lord Mayor Sally Capp to announce this year's recipient.
Thanks, Viv, and welcome everyone this evening. The City of Melbourne is proud to once again be a supporter of the Australian Institute of Architects Awards, bigger and better than ever before in 2020. We are the sponsor of the Enduring Architecture Award, and we appreciate the opportunity to bring a spotlight to buildings that have made a significant contribution and become a part of the fabric of Melbourne. We are the custodians of the amazing built form here in the City of Melbourne, and we know that architecture plays a significant role in creating spaces for people to enjoy, that inspire and also contribute to a sustainable future. So congratulations to everyone there this evening for the way that you play a part in Melbourne. Now tonight we are here to announce the winner. It's time for the drum roll. I am very proud to announce that the 2020 Enduring Architecture Award goes to MCG Southern Stand, Daryl Jackson in association with Tompkins, Shaw and Evan. Congratulations. We know that it's not just the sport lovers of Melbourne that appreciate your project. It's everybody here in our city and across the world. Thank you for contributing so significantly, and congratulations.
In 1992, the Great Southern Stand at the MCG, known as the People's Ground, was awarded the Victorian Architecture Medal and the National Sir Zelman Cowan Award for Public Building. And at the time, Jackson summarised the design intent as clear sightlines, close proximity to the action and comfortable seating, with a sense of arrival at the outside ticket box and the anticipation of a spectacle. Over the past 28 years, the Great Southern Stand has continued to deliver on Jackson's design intent, and no doubt it will continue to do so well into the future. Congratulations, Daryl Jackson, in association with Tompkins, Shaw and Evan. And I'm delighted to say that although we're not crossing live to Daryl Jackson this evening, he has sent through this video message for us.
Hello everyone, I'm honoured to hear that the MCG Great Southern Stand has received the Enduring Architecture Award. I would like to acknowledge the many people who were involved in the project all those years ago, in particular our collaborators Tompkins, Shaw and Evans. I have often called the MCG Melbourne's living room. It's a place where so many people come together, share, experience emotions in sport. For an architect, that is a most rewarding outcome, and let's hope we can return soon. Thank you to all those who have been involved in selecting the Great Southern Stand. It is a fantastic acknowledgement of a project that I am very, very proud of.
Thank you so much for that message, Daryl. And as we head into the next round of awards categories, I am joined by the Chair of Juries, Ingrid Bakker. Ingrid, thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Hi Viv, it's lovely to be here. Thanks for having me.
Absolute pleasure. Now, obviously things have been quite different this year and would have been for the juries as well. Can you tell me a little bit about the process?
Yeah, it has been obviously incredibly different this year. I think, a massive shout out particularly to Jason Stanton from the Institute, who did an amazing job in organising. I mean, it was multiple Zoom meetings. All of the judging had to be done virtually. All of the site visits had to be done virtually. Really difficult for all of the juries and all of the entrants and everyone presenting as well. So, it's been a huge challenge, and I think hats off to everyone for making it happen, because, at one point we were sort of saying, how can we do this? Is this actually going to work, And it looks like it has, and it's going to. And so, yeah, huge hats off to everyone who's been involved, and a lot of hard work behind the scenes, definitely.
And there are very, very many jurors who are involved in this process as well, of course, and that is a cornerstone of this awards program, that so many members of the profession give of their time to be part of this process.
Yeah, that's right. And it was great. I love how Amy always gives us the stats. And as always, as the committee for the awards, we really do try and get that gender balance bang on, and we did it again this year. And a great range of experience as well within the juries. So we always try to make sure that there's a range of experience. So some really experienced practitioners that have got speciality in the fields that they're judging on, but also some younger members. And we also have the graduate program as well. But yeah, so it's great to involve everyone.
Excellent. And did you detect any particular themes in the entrance this year?
Well, I don't want to give too much away, Viv, at this stage of the night, but I think picking up again on what Amy said before about sustainability, it was really nice to see a range of projects that have really been creative, adaptive reuse, I suppose, of existing buildings. So there's some great examples of that are featuring tonight. So congratulations to everyone involved.
Excellent. And do you have any messages, not only to the entrants, but I guess to the broader audience who are watching this evening? I can see that there's someone watching from South Africa, so a big shout out. We are reaching a global audience this year for the first time. Do you have any message about Victorian architects for those people watching tonight?
I think, the projects that we're going to see tonight just show the diversity of scale and different typologies, but the quality is second to none. I think we can all be incredibly proud of the quality of architecture that we produce here in Victoria, and again, just congratulations to all the winners.
Wonderful. And before I let you go, I understand that you have a connection to the recipient of the Enduring Architecture Award, which was just awarded.
Yeah.
Is there anything you'd like to say to
it's just
Darren?
lovely to see the Great Southern Stand win the award. I did my work experience as a 16-year-old at Daryl Jackson's office, and that helped to really encourage me to become an architect. So I'm just thrilled for Daryl. I think it's a great tribute to him and his practice, and they've contributed so much to the Melbourne architecture scene over many, many years. So it's a really nice thing. And I think also everyone's missing being able to go to the MCG at the moment to either see your favourite team or concert. So I think, I think it's a great recipient of the award this year.
Fingers crossed it's not too long till we can all be there once again.
Hope so.
Ingrid, thank you so much for your time this evening. You're now off the hook. You can just sit back and enjoy the rest of the show.
Awesome. Thanks very much, Viv.
Pleasure to see you.
Good luck with the rest of it. Thanks again.
And now let's get underway with the next category of the evening, small project architecture. Let's take a look at the shortlisted projects. Protagonist by Cumulus Studio. In Absence by Edition Office and Yoni Scarce. Mount Macedon Primary School by Workshop Architecture. And The Australian Ugliness by Wowoa Architecture. And from the field of 4 shortlisted projects, the jury have awarded 1 commendation, 1 award, and the named award. The commendation goes to Mount Macedon Primary School by Workshop Architecture. Congratulations! The award for small project architecture goes to Protagonist by Cumulus Studio. A small project with big ideas, this long-awaited forecourt cafe and ticket booth is elegant and simple in form and compelling in its modesty, choosing camouflage over competition. Delivering invention, function, delight and craftsmanship, the jury hopes the elegance and timelessness of Protagonist may see it retained well beyond its temporary mandate. Congratulations, Cumulus Studio! And the highest honour in this category, the Kevin Borland Award for Small Project Architecture, goes to In Absence by Edition Office and Yoni Scarce. Using architecture and art to contribute to an important national conversation, Edition Office and Yoni Scarce have combined collaboration, abstraction, geometry, choreography, and a dense and finely detailed material quality with exceptional clarity of thought and resolution. Developed through an Indigenous-led consultation process, the project arrives at a design that speaks multiple truths, celebrates the architecture, agriculture and industry of Indigenous Australians, and invites an awareness of cultural erasure. Congratulations, Edition Office and Yoni Scarce. And I am joined now by Kim Ridgeland and the team. Congratulations.
Thank you. It's an extraordinary honour. You left me a little bit speechless. The project, I guess the project aim was to position histories and memories that have been removed from our national story, and also to position the awareness of that removal. But also to provoke dialogue and conversation between Indigenous and non-Indigenous communities. And it's been extraordinary to see the engagement with the project in the media and also just in person at the NGV. It's been a wonderful experience.
Well, sorry, please go ahead.
Sorry. Just on that note as well, we'd like to thank some major people that we spoke to throughout the competitive process as well. So that was Uncle Jim Berg, Gunditjmara Elder, and Vicky Cousins, again, and Gunditjmara Auntie, and Damien Bell from Budgebim, and Stephen Cumberston as well. So, yeah, much love to them.
It's a great honour to win the award, and we hope that it promotes further collaboration like this, and it's a great honour to work with.
Well, such a great
Well, congratulations to you. And of course, I spoke to you only, I think it's 5 or 6 weeks ago, when you won multiple awards for your project in the ACT. So congratulations on that score as well. 2 named awards for such significant projects. What does it mean to the practice, Kim?
Look, I think I wouldn't say. I think I'd love to accept those 2 named awards on behalf of what it means to deliberative architecture that works, for community political purposes. For the message that both of those projects serve, I think it's a profound honour for those to have both received that recognition. I mean, for us, it's extraordinary, but it's so much more empowering for those projects and the message behind them to be elevated like that.
Well, look, congratulations once again to you and the team and everyone you've collaborated with on this extraordinary project. And I do hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you. Thank you. Before you leave us, I'd just like to say thank you. Thank you so much to Miles, Goldie, and to you and McEwen and everyone at the NGV. Their support was extraordinary.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
And now to the category of Heritage, which is supported by the Heritage Council of Victoria. And to introduce the shortlisted projects, we have this message from Christine Phillips.
Womanjika everyone. I'm a member of the Heritage Council of Victoria, an independent statutory authority that recognises and celebrates Victoria's cultural heritage. And here I am in St Kilda on the traditional lands of the Yalukit people of the Boonwurrung, a place rich in cultural histories of many kinds. The Heritage Council of Victoria values Victoria's heritage as an asset to be enjoyed and appreciated, and we are proud to sponsor the Heritage Architecture category of the 2020 Victorian Architecture Awards. And now, let's take a look at the shortlist.
State Library Victoria redevelopment by Architectus and Schmidt-Hammerlassen Architects. Sorrento House by Sarah Stribley. 9 Cremorne Street by Fieldwork. Broadmeadows Town Hall by Kirsten Thompson Architects. Trades Hall, Victoria by Lovell Chen. Regent Theatre, Melbourne, also by Lovell Chen. Frankston Mid-Century Modern by MRTN Architects. RMIT Capitol Theatre by 6 Degrees. Abbotsford Convent Magdalen Laundry by Williamsburg Architects. And Art House and Studio by Zen Architects. From the field of 10 shortlisted projects, the jury have awarded 3 commendations, 4 awards, and the named award. The commendations for heritage conservation go to Sorrento House by Sarah Stribley and RMIT Capitol Theatre by 6 Degrees. And a commendation for heritage creative adaptation goes to Art House and Studio by Zen Architects. Congratulations to all the commendation recipients. An award for heritage conservation goes to State Library Victoria redevelopment by Architectus and Schmidt-Hammerlassen. The jury was impressed by the forensic conservation efforts, revealing and conserving earlier and original decorative schemes within a modest contemporary interpretive scheme. From the subtle manner of bringing the West Wing stairs into contemporary code compliance, to the way intensive new services have been integrated into a Victorian interior, this project has succeeded impressively. Congratulations to the project team. And the second award for Heritage Conservation goes to Trades Hall, Victoria by Lovell Chen. With forensic care, the architects have carefully peeled back, conserved and interpreted the richly detailed 19th century layers of this working person's architectural icon. The jury applauds the refurbishment of the new council chamber, Solidarity Hall, and the introduction of a museum-standard interpretive display. Congratulations, Lovell Chen. An award for Heritage Creative Adaptation goes to Abbotsford Convent Magdalen Laundry by Williams-Bogue Architects. WBA have made several crafted but bold moves to bring the formerly toxic, debilitated and dangerous laundry complex into contemporary multi-purpose performance and exhibition space, allowing each of the key historic building fabric layers to remain legible while seamlessly adding the next. Congratulations, Williams-Bogue Architects. And the final award for Heritage Creative Adaptation goes to Regent Theatre Melbourne by Lovell Chen. This project impresses for its innovative engineering solution in the form of the massive three-dimensional clear-spanning truss and its seamless envelopment in new, expertly painted traditional Venetian plasterwork, detailed to match the extant signature finishes. The jury commends these substantial but necessary interventions developed by intense research and implemented with surgical precision. Congratulations once again to Lovell Chen. And the highest honour in this category, the John George Knight Award for Heritage, goes to Broadmeadows Town Hall by Kirsten Thompson Architects. This is an exemplar of both conservation and adaptive reuse of a mid-century modernist former town hall. Described by the jury as a remarkable and groundbreaking project, the Broadmeadows Town Hall was saved and revived by local community sentiment, combined with KTA's comprehensive research to establish the heritage values of the place, including the intangible social values, and to capture and enhance them. The architects have been able to both conserve and boldly add to the complex, resulting in an outstanding but sensitive revival. Congratulations, Kirsten Thompson Architects. And I am joined now by Kirsten Thompson. Kirsten, congratulations.
Thank you. It's quite a surprise up against that shortlist, so thank you very much. That's great.
Now, Kirsten, I understand that locally this building was known as the Pink Elephant. Can you tell us a little bit of the story behind that?
I think when it was first built, it was seen as a fairly extravagant gesture. Big, ambitious building in the middle of an undeveloped area at that stage, and play on white elephant, I guess. Some other councils a little unsure of its largesse, but it stood the test of time, an important part of that community.
And community sentiment, I understand from the jury comments, was absolutely instrumental in saving it from demolition. Can you tell us a little bit about that movement?
I think that's right. It's a building that a lot of people are very attached to. It's seen, residency, citizenship ceremonies, immunisation programs, debutante balls, basketball games, motorcar displays, everything. So really a repository of community memory, and it's just fantastic that it's still there, and it has another chapter that hopefully many more. Yeah.
What do you hope the legacy is going to be, particularly for this community in Broadmeadows?
I hope that it's a building that speaks to many people. It's a very diverse community, and so we think of it as a real hybrid of commercial, civic and community uses. So may it continue to be open to everybody. It's business incubators, arts communities, commercial, it's a bit of everything. So we just hope it's embraced and used by many for a long time to come.
And Kirsten, is there anyone in particular that you'd like to acknowledge on receiving this award?
Yeah, thank you. Look, a lot actually. Hume Council, who were fantastic to work with. I think a really interesting council, great direction from them. In particular, Dan John and Matt, fantastic to work with, thank you. And to Robbie Rowlands, the artist who did a very beautiful work called Crossing the Floor, as a beautiful part of its response to heritage, important in the project. To the contractors, Building Engineering. And to the KTA team, shout out to Caroline Chong, Lloyd McCarthy, Martin Allen, Tina Leal and Kelly Mackay, who can't be with me tonight because of this blasted reinforced lockdown. So much for us all being together. Yes, a big thanks. It's great. And thank you to the jury too and the Institute.
Oh, well, congratulations, Kirsten, to you and to your entire team, wherever you may be watching this evening. A very, very big congratulations. And look, I hope you enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank you. No, it's fabulous. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.
And we will be back with the next categories, Sustainable and Interior Architecture, as well as the Colorbond Award for Steel Architecture and Commercial Architecture, after these messages from the award sponsors.
Made by nature, created by innovators, supplied by Mackay's, your home of Tasmanian timber.
Field is made.
Made for the contemporary.
Made for imagination.
Made for style.
Fielders made. Made for inspiration.
Hi, we're Lovell Chen and you're watching the Victorian Architecture Awards.
Thanks, Lovell Chen, and congratulations once again. And now to the category of Sustainable Architecture. Let's take a look at the shortlisted projects.
9 Cremorne Street by Fieldwork. Boonwurrung by Gresley Abbas and Gregory Burgess Architects. Ownder Rail Extensions Stations by Grimshaw. South Melbourne Lifesaving Club by Jackson Clements Burrows. Gillies Hall, also by Jackson Clements Burrows. Bayswater Early Years Hub by K20 Architecture. University of Melbourne Old Quad by Lovell Chen. Nightingale 2.0 Fairfield by 6 Degrees Architects. And Art House and Studio by Zen Architects.
And from the field of 9 shortlisted projects, the jury have awarded 3 commendations, 2 awards and the named award. Commendations are awarded to Ownder Rail Extension Stations by Grimshaw. Gillies Hall by Jackson Clements Burrows Architects. And Nightingale 2.0 Fairfield by 6 Degrees Architects. Congratulations to the teams. The award for Sustainable Architecture goes to Bayswater Early Years Hub by K20 Architecture. This project is the result of a highly integrated collaborative approach to the triple bottom line application of sustainable design principles. The resultant vision creates a facility focused on minimising human impact on the environment through an eco-centric design, while championing the user experience and surrounding environment as the key drivers for the built space. Congratulations, K20 Architecture. An award also goes to University of Melbourne Old Quad by Lovell Chen. The Old Quad refurbishment is an exemplary and skillful demonstration of what's possible. The refurbishment achieves a comfortable temperature all year round and reduces energy consumption by 70 to 90%, whilst reinstating and celebrating the original period finishes of the buildings. The third award for the evening, congratulations once again to Lovell Chen. And the highest honour in this category, the Alan and Beth Caldicott Award for Sustainable Architecture, goes to Boonwurrung by Gresley Abbas and Gregory Burgess Architects.
This project represents best practice in environmentally sustainable architecture. The project champions a triple bottom line approach, fulfilling a comprehensive social response and excellent environmental credentials within a highly constrained budget. The implementation of sustainable outcomes through early engagement with the traditional owners are a highlight of the project, where strong Aboriginal leadership and collaboration has resulted in a positive transformation of the site and setting a benchmark for future sustainable development. The jury applauds this project as an outstanding example of respect and sustainability. Congratulations, Gresley Abbas and Gregory Burgess Architects.
And I am joined now by Ahmed Abbas and Emily Cox. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks very much. You seem slightly stunned.
We weren't sure whether we were on screen yet.
You're on screen.
Yeah.
Now, the jury also commented that this project is particularly responsive to both the site and the community. Can you give us a little bit of context to the brief?
Yeah, I think the leadership of the community was really integral here, and the Kulin committee, who are now the representative group from a First Nations community that worked for many years on the vision for this place, has really made this what it is, which is very much a place where Indigenous knowledge can be the champion and lead the way for the whole community. So a big shout out to the co-chairs, Karen Jackson and Rob Monaghan, for their amazing leadership on the project.
And what was it like as a project to work on for the teams?
Well, I guess most importantly, you need to acknowledge Greg Burgess, who we worked with on this project and who brings his 50-year passion and dedication to sustainability in architecture. It does take everyone's commitment to make projects like this succeed and reach their goals, and that includes the client, the Kulin committee. After working with Greg, we stand on the shoulders of giants when working with Greg. His humanity and his passion has been amazing. But I guess for this project, the fact that we've been able to champion not just environmental concerns, but also social justice, the fact that we've managed to connect with the land in a really meaningful way. And in that respect, I need to really acknowledge the people we worked with, like Vance Connor and Michael Shaw from the Connor Pincus group, helping us with all the ESD, and particularly John Shinkfield and his team at Realm Studios, who made an incredible contribution in truly integrating the landscape with the building. And Peter Felicetti, the structural engineer, and of course the builders, who are very important, Devco. It takes everyone to make a genuinely meaningful, sustainable outcome come to fruition. And it's also really terrific to work with such a great client, and Wyndham City were really committed and really open-minded to new ideas and to change throughout the process. So as well as providing amazing project management, they were a really committed client, so it's great to work with them.
And what do you hope the long-term legacy will be of this project for the community?
A place where they feel safe, a place where there is pride in their community and the cultures and all the people that this place will be an important place for. And importantly, I think just to see this building in its landscape mature and grow. Again, how we worked with the landscape architects, with the elders, with what the Indigenous community brought to us in terms of what to emphasise, how it connects with the land, how it allows the water to connect with the Werribee River nearby, all those things. We hope that this building genuinely takes its place in the landscape. I think that's the most important enduring thing that we hope for with this project.
Wonderful. Well, look, congratulations once again to you, to everyone you've collaborated with on this project, and of course the client and the communities as well. I hope you enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank you very much, Viv. Cheers. Good night.
We are K20 Architecture.
Thanks, K20 Architecture, and I hope you get the chance to have a drink together soon. The next category is Interior Architecture, which is supported by McKay Timber. And to introduce the shortlist in this category, Michael Sedlarovic has sent through this message.
Hi everyone, really happy to be here in my lounge room introducing this award. Now let's take a look at the nominations for Interior Architecture Award.
State Library Victoria redevelopment by Architectus and Schmidt-Hammerlassen Architects. Monash University Chancellery by ARM Architecture. 161 Collins Street by Bates Smart. Arts Epicentre by Branch Studio Architects. Elm Tree Place by Eastop Architects. The Melburnian Apartment by Addition Office. Napier Street 4 Milieu by Friedman White. Harry and Viv's House by Haar. Geelong Arts Centre by Hassel. Gillies Hall by Jackson Clements Burrows Architects. Ian Potter Southbank Centre, University of Melbourne by John Wardle Architects. RMIT Capitol Theatre by 6 Degrees Architects. 3 Stories North by Splinter Society Architecture. And Penguin Parade Visitor Centre by Terroir. And from the field of 14 shortlisted projects, the jury have awarded 2 commendations, 3 awards, and the named award. Commendations are awarded to 3 Stories North by Splinter Society Architecture and RMIT Capitol Theatre by 6 Degrees Architects. Congratulations! The first award for interior architecture goes to Monash University Chancellery by ARM Architecture. Artworks and artefacts are woven throughout the interior spaces, and ARM's commitment to an inclusive, artist-led process allows the presence and message of each to be felt. The jury acknowledges the significance and power of the art program as an exceptional response to the brief, the client, and community. Congratulations, ARM Architecture. And an Interior Architecture Award also goes to Napier Street for Milieu by Friedman White. This is a robust but generous offering to both the occupants and the greater community. Internally, the material palette echoes the external communal spaces in expressing their natural qualities. An honesty in materials, thoughtful design and rigorous but practical detailing positions Napier Street as an exemplar project and results in a rich and inviting outcome. Congratulations, Friedman Wyatt. And the final award for Interior Architecture goes to Gillies Hall by Jackson Clements Burrows Architects. An ambitious brief with outstanding sustainability credentials, this is an exceptional outcome that provides a wonderful array of interior spaces. A contextually driven colour palette creates a sense of identity and belonging throughout, while the simple use of materials speaks to larger ideas and connects to the broader context of the Mornington Peninsula. Congratulations, Jackson Clements Burrows Architects. And the highest honour in this category, the Marion Marnie Award for Interior Architecture, goes to Ian Potter Southbank Centre, University of Melbourne by John Wardle Architects. The interior architecture focuses on the underlying idea of learning through observation and curiosity, and Wardle generously encourages engagement and activation with the wider community and its users. Elegantly detailed seating promotes social engagement and connectivity, and the careful planning and arrangement of spaces expertly negotiates the complex technical, acoustic and programmatic brief requirements, resulting in a vertical plan that is dynamic and functional, harmonised by a continuity of rich material and refined detail that is robust, yet tactile and informal. Congratulations, John Wardle Architects.
And I am joined now by Ka-Fai Lee, and it looks like the team. Hello, congratulations.
No, thank you very much. We're thrilled. And we brought the team together, as many as we could, and while we're having this social distancing.
Oh, well, look, congratulations. You win my award for most creative way to get the team together in a live stream. I'm very impressed by the technology. Nice to see John Wardle again. We had a few chats last week with the New South Wales Awards. Now, tell us a little bit about this project, if you can. I understand that this was a highly complex and technical brief.
Oh, very much so. And it's such a long journey on projects like this, where you have to consider everything from the acoustics, the performance, how the students and staff interact within the building. So it's highly complex, and thanks to very dedicated and experienced consultants like Marshall Day, Owen Consult, to make it all happen.
And the jury also commented on, the activation and engagement that's ever present throughout this building. We saw some of that from the way people on the street can engage with what's going on inside.
No, definitely. And it's such one of the key things came from Professor Gheran McPherson saying that he wanted it to be a vibrant, not a monastic building. So with that, we took the plunge, and it was inside and out. You could hear the humming of the music, of the practice, and you could look into what students and staff are doing. It's quite a vibrant interior space.
And how have the students and staff responded? Have you had any feedback from them?
Oh, the best is whenever we walk through the corridors, they see us walking past, they open the doors, they invite us in, they ask us to sit in on their practice. So they're incredibly moved by the level of sound, the outlook, the natural daylight coming through. So it's been a very, very positive feedback.
Wonderful. And I imagine there's probably a fair few people you'd like to acknowledge and thank, Ka-Fai. Would you like to run us through some of those?
Yes, amongst other than the ones on this board here, there are probably about 40 others in the JWA team, but and led superbly by Jeff Arnold on the interior side. We're also very lucky to work with fantastic craftsmanship and craftspeople in the team, from Inex with the tiles, and Jacaranda and Bianco. So it's a fantastic composition of varied talents that really made this happen. So we also want to thank particularly the University of Melbourne championing this project, particularly the Dean, Barry Conningham, and Gheran McPherson, who really were behind every time, whether it's John or Megan Dwyer and ourselves presenting, they were really behind us all the way through. So without them, this couldn't have happened. So thank you to everyone.
Oh, well, congratulations to you, to the entire team and everyone you've collaborated with on this project, Ka-Fai. I will leave you now to enjoy your group Zoom with the rest of the team.
Great, thank you. Have a good night.
Thank you, you too.
Hi, we're from Conrad Gargett, and you're watching the Victorian Architecture Awards.
Thank you, Conrad Gargett. And now the Colorbond Award for Steel Architecture, supported by the Institute's principal partner, BlueScope.
For me, the pull of the Australian landscape is that it's got this beaten, weathered harshness, which is contrasted by these beautiful colours and soft matte surfaces. I love how a matte surface holds light, how it diffuses the light. It's absolute joy to photograph. It's like Colorbond steel matte. It's strong, enduring, yet subtle in its beauty.
and Margot Bon has sent through this message.
Thank you, Viv. Good evening all. My name is Margot Bon and I'm your BlueScope Specification Manager here in Victoria. BlueScope is honoured to be celebrating our 35th year as the Institute's principal corporate partner. We always love to see both through traditional and innovative ways our products are specified in your project, and we are yet again blown away by the calibre of this year's entries for the Colorbond Award for Steel Architecture. As this unprecedented situation continues to unfold, we understand the enormous effort involved in adjusting to these extraordinary conditions. We also appreciate the continued juggle to balance your creative inspirations with social responsibilities and commercial realities to deliver inspired solutions. BlueScope takes pride in supporting and assisting you all with this role. We are here virtually and, of course, in spirit to celebrate yet another year of exciting architecture here in Victoria. On behalf of BlueScope, I'd like to congratulate all the nominees on your excellent submissions and wish you the very best of luck. And now, let's take a look at the projects considered for this year's Colorbond Award for Steel Architecture.
Monash University Chancellery by ARM Architecture. CLT House by FMD Architects. Mernda Rail Extensions Stations by Grimshaw. And Carlton Learning Precinct, Kohler by Law Architects.
Thanks, Margot, and thanks to BlueScope for your ongoing support of the Institute and also this award. So without any further ado, the 2020 Colorbond Award for Steel Architecture goes to Monash University Chancellery by ARM Architecture.
The jury describes the Chancellery building exterior as an exemplary architectural solution using steel. Its innovative engineering is evident through the complex, detailed resolution of the steel screen, which sits offset from the rectangular glazed box behind. This modularised screen system also acts as a brise-soleil, successfully deflecting sunlight to reduce heat gain within the building. Congratulations, ARM Architecture.
And I am joined now by Ian McDougall. Ian, congratulations.
Thank you. Wow, that's pretty good.
It sure is. Now, this is obviously a landmark project for Monash University. Can you give us some context to its importance to the campus?
Well, it's the building one where all the actual management facilities are housed, but it's also the old building that it replaced, which was had an asbestos problem. It's one of the original buildings of the university, and it stands for the sort of origins of the university. So it's very important.
And obviously the jury were particularly impressed by the steel screening. Can you give us some background to that? I understand some of the inspiration was drawn from the original meaning of the word chancellery.
Yes, well, the original meaning of the word comes from a Latin word for the screens that were in front of, that protected the judges from the general populace. So it was a sort of a dividing screen where the decision makers were housed. But I guess the other thing was the university was founded as a university which was about applied intellectual activity. So it was engineering, science, medicine. And so we thought that the new Chancellery needed a statement about the fact that new technology, new ways to design, and then also local fabrication would be used to express that sort of tradition of Australian ingenuity, I guess.
And is there anyone that you'd like to acknowledge on receiving this award this evening, Ian?
Oh, goodness.
I've put you on the spot.
Well,
now.
It's a very long list. Obviously, our client, Monash University, the whole Buildings and Properties team, who've actually curated an amazing array of buildings, and it was really an honour to be offered the opportunity to be part of that curated landscape. I guess the others is Kane Constructions. This is the third project we've done with Kane's, who've demonstrated they are like incredible builders. They know how to build stuff. They're very design oriented, so they were great to work with. Gordon, the rock star fabricator from Fab Metal. He is amazing. Like Fab Metal are, it's not, all of that stuff is not made in China. It's not made offshore. It's made right here in Melbourne. It's just amazing. And obviously our fantastic team, Jeremy, Andrea, Eliza, Justin. I'd have to look at my notes. There's a whole gang of people who make ARM look good.
Fantastic. Well, look, congratulations to you and the team. I hope they're all watching tonight and sort of vicariously taking part in the glory with you, Ian. Is there anything else you'd like to say before we wrap up?
No. I just thanks to BlueScope and thanks for their continued support of local industry and local technology, and that's what we're interested in. I think that's what we all should be interested in. And I think my lucky coat worked tonight.
I'm loving the lucky coat. I think you're winning my award for best rest of the night so far, so that's putting everyone else on notice. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoy the rest of the night.
Thanks. Bye.
And now to commercial architecture, supported by Dormacarba. And to introduce the shortlist, we have this message from Ben Andrews.
Dormacarba has a long history working with the Victorian chapter of the Institute of Architects. We value support and recognition they give architects in the state. Today I'm in our showroom at Hallam. I'd invite all architects to visit us when the shutdowns ease. We are proud to support architectural design and to partner with the best from concept to delivery. It is our pleasure to sponsor the commercial architecture category. Commercial buildings change our landscape and the way we interact with the world. They set the tone for work while setting a structure and a sense of place. Here are our finalists.
St Collins Lane by ARM Architecture. Lightbox by Claire Cousins Architects. 9 Cremorne Street by Fieldwork. 271 Spring Street by John Wardle Architects. And Ngambie Brewery and Distillery by 6 Degrees Architects. And the jury for commercial architecture have awarded 2 commendations, 1 award and the named award. The commendations are awarded to 271 Spring Street by John Wardle Architects and Ngambie Brewery and Distillery by 6 Degrees Architects. Congratulations! The award for commercial architecture goes to Lightbox by Claire Cousins Architects. On a highly constrained site with only one facade receiving direct light, the project successfully delivers an outcome that is focused on tenant well-being. This is a highly considered scheme which should act as a prototype for other commercial projects due to the deft manner in which it has provided access to natural ventilation, direct light, nature and greater levels of user control. Congratulations, Claire Cousins Architects. And the highest honour in this category, the Sir Osborne McCutcheon Award for Commercial Architecture, goes to 9 Cremorne Street by Fieldwork. Occupying a tight city fringe site with a historically significant early Edwardian factory, this is an office building designed for Australian conditions. Above the warmth and reassuring simplicity found in the brickwork of the heritage base sits a strong, fully screened, rectangular volume. It is an outstanding example of a great place for people to work, a built identity for a company, and a positive contribution to our developing urban environment. Congratulations, Fieldwork. And I'm joined now by Keno Holland. Congratulations.
Hey, thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. It's super exciting for us. This is our first office building, and to receive this award for the first office building is like a real honour. So thank you so much.
Excellent. Now, the jury commented in their citation about the challenges associated with this particular site. Can you give us a bit of context as to where it is in Melbourne?
Yeah, sure. So it's on the corner of Cremorne Street. It's quite a bookend sort of a site, so it's a pretty prominent location. And it's also a north and west facing site, so it's absolutely the worst orientation you could possibly have for an office building. You know, that's a real challenge. So I guess we really didn't want to just build a typical glass box. You know, we really wanted to make this an office building designed for Melbourne conditions. You know, it really needed to be a building that could close down during summer, open up during winter, but also just on a day-to-day basis to be able to sort of change depending on the weather conditions, the light conditions as well.
And projects like this, Kino, where do they sit within Fieldwork's body of work and your practice?
Well, I guess, look, we started off only 7 years ago, so we're an emerging practice. We started off doing multi-residential projects, and then our client Co-Built, who I'll mention again in a moment, but they ran a design competition. We were very fortunate in winning that, and they took a punt on us, the fact that we'd never done an office building before. And I think they were excited by the vision of a truly Melbourne sort of specific design for an office building. And so where does it sit within the context of Fieldwork? It's our first office building. We've now got a number of office buildings that we're sort of trying to do similar things with.
Excellent. And for a practice of your scale, you mentioned that you're an emerging practice. What does it mean to receive the named award in this particular category?
Oh, look, it's an absolute honour. Look, and we were up against some amazing projects, and look, we really appreciate the recognition. It's been a huge amount of work and a lot of love put into it by the team as well. So this is a project that's very close to our hearts. So it's really humbling to receive this award.
And I imagine there's probably a few people you want to thank and acknowledge at the moment.
Of course, look, projects like this don't happen without fantastic clients. So I really want to make a big thank you to Kobe and Rotem from Co-Build. This is their headquarters. They're the client and the builder, so they did a beautiful job building it. I also want to say a big thank you to the consultant team. I mean, it was a really fantastic effort by everybody. And also within our own team, there's a few people I'd like to thank. I want to say thank you to Alessio Finney, Piers Morgan, Keith Little, also Charlie Singh, and a particular thank you to Wyndham Cameron, who just did a huge amount of work on this project. And the biggest thank you really is for Tim Brooks, who's our associate and was a project architect and really nurtured this all the way through. So that's the thank yous to everybody.
Oh, excellent. Well, look, a big congratulations to you, the team, the client, of course, as well. And I hope you enjoy the rest of the night, Kino. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Cheers. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi, we're City Design and you're watching the Victorian Architecture Awards.
Thanks, City Design. The next category is Urban Design. Let's take a look at who's in the running.
Sable Drop Terrace by Jackson Clements Burrows Architects. Carlton Learning Precinct, Kohler by Law Architects. And Ozanam House by MGS Architects. And from the field of 3 shortlisted projects, the Urban Design Jury have awarded 2 awards and the named award. The first award goes to Sable Drop Terrace by Jackson Clements Burrows Architects. JCB have repaired a 15-metre embankment squeezed between the 11-storey Building A and Queen's Avenue at Monash Caulfield. The architects show here their commitment through their knowledge and sensitivity to turn this modest leftover space into a place you want to be in. The jury applauds the result as refreshing, natural and elegant. Congratulations, JCB. And an award also goes to Ozanam House by MGS Architects. MGS Architects' experience and insight into medium density housing and humane urban places informs this valuable residential refuge for homeless people in North Melbourne. Facilities like these are too few, so much has had to be provided on the hard-working lot, and all components have been designed as a quality development. The jury applauds this sensitive and contributive building, a good citizen in its neighbourhood on Flemington Road. Congratulations, MGS Architects. And the highest honour in this category, the Joseph Reed Award for Urban Design, goes to Carlton Learning Precinct, Kohler by Law Architects. Law Architects have created a pinnacle for urban design in this modest and hard-working school project. Resuscitating a 1960s Housing Commission structure, the architects have created a totally rejuvenated home for the primary school, a community hub, ELC and family services. Law have made a community asset through savvy imagination and with a deep passion for quality public places. Congratulations, Law Architects.
And Sandy Law joins me now. Hi Sandy, congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. This is, yes, wow.
And I can see you've got your team behind you, which is great. A big shout out to them.
Yeah, big shout out. What an amazing team. I think there's only half of them sort of presenting tonight, but yeah, really special.
Fantastic achievement. And I understand this project has already been the recipient of other awards from other organisations. So congratulations on that score.
Thank you. Yes, yes.
Can you give us a little bit of context to the client brief on this project, please, Sandy?
Oh, okay. Gosh. The client brief was really, it's an interesting one. It was really about trying to turn it around, there was an existing primary school there occupying and rattling around on the top floor the middle floor, and then some other spaces being used that were sort of highly underutilised, and a lot of conversation around the lack of access, the lack of contribution that it was making to the local neighbourhood, and the need to really tell a new story for Carlton Primary School, and to bring in a gym, and we had lots of discussions around what that might look like or be, so many stories.
Now I understand.
I don't know where to start.
So I put you on the spot there. It was a very big story. I understand your practice has a very strong focus in education and community projects as well. How important is this project, do you think, within the body of work that you've done so far? Where does it sit, do you think?
Oh, look, I think this one is it's powerful and extraordinary on a multitude of levels. It is about connecting and enabling community at its core, and I think and also really on such an important site in Carlton, where we have the opportunity and the ability to really engage with the local community on a multitude of levels on all sides, to allow an urban site of its scale and its nature to become that sort of cog, or the gel that allows a lot of sort of groups and settings to play out is something that we probably haven't had that ability to do so on a lot of the other projects. So yeah, this one is very dear to all our hearts. It has involved a lot of consultation on a multitude of levels, whether that be all the variety of stakeholders, the Melbourne City Council, the Victorian School Building Authority, and all the different community groups that have been sort of party to the conversation along the way as well. So.
And I imagine then that there would be quite a few people on your list of, those to thank. Over to you for the acknowledgements.
Can I do that? Gosh, and who am I going to miss out on? Look, I think I would like to do a really big shout out to the client, to the Victorian School Building Authorities, for allowing a different story and a different sort of, offering to be put on the table. Instead of a gym, we got an outdoor learning environment, and all the affordances that creates. I'd like to thank the Melbourne City Council for the really positive journey that we embarked on with them as well. Engagement with the local community, the team here are just amazing. So many contributions. It's just layered on it. I don't even want to yell out everyone's individual names. There's been this sort of extraordinary long project that has gone on for a very long time too. So who am I missing? The builders. Thank you to the builders, and you can't speak, can you? Who else am I missing? The school, Carlton Primary School, and what an amazing school that is, and I really look forward to what this place becomes and how it evolves over time.
Well, what an extraordinary contribution to the students and the community, Sandy. Congratulations to you and your team, the client and everyone who was involved. And you can probably take those guys off mute and really go back and celebrate now. I'll let you go.
We've already started.
Well, I hope the celebrations continue.
I would say thank you to the Institute for recognising this project. It's a very important project. I think at this time and in this place we are facing we've had an incredible week. The conversation around social equality, equity, all of the conversations around sustainability as well, and the possibility of really enabling community as we to connect as we sort of move out of our ISO space, and it will happen. And thank you to the Institute for recognising this.
Oh, well, congratulations and all the very best, and hopefully it's not too long until we are back at a place where we can really be in spaces like this. Thanks, Sandy.
Maybe, yeah. We hope.
And we will be back with the next round of categories, which will be residential architecture, multiple housing, alterations and additions as well, and public and educational architecture, after these messages from the award sponsors.
The Built Environment channel is a free streaming service specifically for built environment professionals. You'll receive a dedicated screen in your office on which will broadcast industry news, your own content, and lots of design inspiration too.
Why do you think we feel an emotional connection to brick?
When we start looking at the design, what colour, what texture, we sort of look at the red earth of the heart of Australia.
How do you think that people will view the building in 50 years' time?
We talk about a lot of it is about designing for timeless beauty. There's also another ways of look at design for the moment.
When it's time to build on quality that's proven in Australia's harsh environment. Build on Lysart, steel roofing and walling. Style. Experience. Excellence. You have it all when you choose Lysart, steel roofing and walling. Insist on the best. Insist on Lysart.
Hi. We're Denticor Commercial and you're watching the Victorian Architecture Awards.
Thanks DCM, love the backgrounds. The next category is residential architecture, multiple housing. Let's take a look at the shortlist. Napier Street 4 Milieu by Friedman White. Gillies Hall by Jackson Clements Burrows Architects. Home Apartments by John Wardle Architects. Housing Choices Australia, Dandenong by Kennedy Nolan. George Street by Kirsten Thompson Architects. Ozanam House by MGS Architects. Salisbury Townhouses by NTF Architecture. Nightingale 2.0 Fairfield by 6 Degrees Architects. And Piccolo House by Woodmarsh. And from the field of 9 entrants, the jury have awarded 2 commendations, 3 awards, and the named award. The commendations for residential architecture multiple housing go to Home Apartments by John Wardle Architects and Housing Choices Australia, Dandenong by Kennedy Nolan. Congratulations. The first award for multiple housing goes to Piccolo House by Woodmarsh. Subtly nuanced and craftfully detailed, Piccolo House sits remarkably well in its setting, picking up on both the materiality and theatre of Clarendon Street. The jury considers this to be a multi-res model for the future, a mixed-use format not typecast or trapped in time, but one that is robust in both structure and program. Congratulations, Woodmarsh. The second award goes to Salisbury Townhouses by NTF Architecture. The jury applauds this project, which adapts a group of 6 austere yet highly salvageable 1960s single-storey flats into 6 highly versatile 2-bedroom townhouses. Through minimal intervention, the dwellings activate the awkward triangular site with communal and semi-private outdoor spaces. Humble and rational in approach, the appearance is elegant yet unfussy, robust and sustainable. Congratulations, NTF Architecture. And an award for multiple housing also goes to Gillies Hall by Jackson Clements Burrows Architects. Receiving its second award this evening, Gillies Hall resets the benchmark for student housing, both in terms of its environmental performance and construction techniques, alongside its delightful interior spaces. The jury consider it will help change the conversation around the environmental performance of buildings in Australia, as well as heighten the health and well-being of the students it houses. Congratulations once again to the team at Jackson Clements Burrows. And the highest honour in this category, the Best Over-End Award for Residential Architecture Multiple Housing, goes to Napier Street for Milieu by Friedman White.
Adjacent to their multi-award-winning Whitlam Place, this project continues the architect's fine work in this challenging typology. The restrained material palette and subtle variance in brick detailing create a warmth to the building's exterior, while internal planning allows varied apartment types. The consistent detail, materiality, architectural language and the experiential quality create a wonderful dichotomy between housing multiple dwellings and the sense of the building as a singular whole. Congratulations, Friedman White.
And I'm joined now by Michael White and family. Congratulations.
Thank you. What a surprise.
Well, I'm very glad that someone was able to stay up possibly past their bedtime to be a part of this tonight. Is that right? Yes.
Definitely. The honey soy chips are getting it through it.
Excellent. Now, it's only last year that you won the named award for the project next door, Whitlam Place. Can you tell us a little bit about how you approached this particular project?
Well, it's a completely different site and a different set of circumstances. Whitlam Place sits next to a park, a very public interface, whereas Napier only had a east-west interface, so it needed to think about the cross ventilation and natural light in a completely different way, and so it was more of a transparent dynamic facade to Napier Street, and we effectively broke the building into two with a central courtyard, allowing for a verdant garden that was beautifully designed by Mark Jackson and his team at Openwork.
And the jury commented in a great deal of detail about the detailing in this project, and particularly the brickwork. And can you talk to us a little bit about all of that?
Sure. It's an efficient kind of brick. It's a concrete brick, and we were looking at ways in which we could elevate it to be appearing in different ways. So thinking about it and sort of cutting it and allowing the aggregate to be exposed. So that sort of allowed it for a kind of subtle texture, and we used 50% of that brickwork throughout the project, varied with the standard bricks in different patterns, and it sort of gave it a velvety, chalky feel to it, which was a nice outcome.
And the jury also described this as a very challenging typology. What does it mean to the practice to receive this award this evening?
It's astonishing, honestly. We're really taken aback. The shortlists were remarkable. We're just honoured to be part of that list and genuinely taken aback by this amazing award that we're given. So thank you to the jury and the Institute. It's such an honour.
Wonderful. Well, look, thank you very much. Congratulations once again. And you can go and enjoy the night now. It might be someone's bedtime.
I think so.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys. And now to public architecture, supported by the Institute's national corporate partner, Lysart. And we have this message and introduction to the shortlist from Aman Panu.
Hi everyone, it's great to be joining you all tonight. We're delighted to be sponsoring the category for public architecture. On behalf of everyone here at Lysart, congratulations to all the entrants. All the best, and let's take a look at who's in the running.
State Library Victoria redevelopment by Architectus and Schmidt Hammerlassen Architects. Gandalwing Cabrini Malvern by Bates Smart. Parks Victoria Albert Park Office and Depot by Harrison and White with Archia. Geelong Arts Centre by Hassel. South Melbourne Lifesaving Club by Jackson Clements Burrows Architects. Broadmeadows Town Hall by Kirsten Thompson Architects. Baldwin Park Tennis and Community Facility by MGS Architects. Penguin Parade Visitor Centre by Terroir. And Colorbond Park Sports Club by Wowoa Architecture. And from the field of 9 shortlisted projects, the Public Architecture Jury have awarded 2 commendations, 3 awards and the named award. The commendations go to South Melbourne Lifesaving Club by Jackson Clements Burrows Architects and Broadmeadows Town Hall by Kirsten Thompson Architects. Congratulations! The first award for public architecture goes to State Library Victoria Redevelopment by Architectus and Schmidt Hammerlassen Architects. Receiving its second award tonight, evolving as a conglomeration of around 20 buildings of varying architectural styles, over the years its legibility as a whole had been lost. The architects have skillfully re-established connections, opening up the Russell Street entrance to unlock spaces which had lain dormant for decades, returning them to public use, and setting a precedent for what a 21st century library should be. Congratulations once again to the team. The second award goes to Gandalwing Cabrini Malvern by Bates Smart. The jury describes the Gandalwing as an essay in excellence and an outstanding example of institutional architecture. The complex hospital brief and challenging site were thoughtfully navigated, and the building finally crafted by the architects to produce a consistent and high-quality outcome. Congratulations, Bates Smart. And the third award for public architecture goes to Parks Victoria Albert Park Office and Depot by Harrison and White with Archia. This is a spatially inviting, robust and aptly integrated building within the landscape of Albert Park. The jury was impressed with the way open space volumes connect with the park whilst bringing an exteriority into the heart of the building via the undercroft and courtyard. Congratulations Harrison White and Archia. And the highest honour in this category, the William Wardell Award for Public Architecture, goes to Penguin Parade Visitor Centre by Terroir. This is a spectacular and beautifully executed building that envelops a commanding formal language and the intelligent distribution of interpretive and hospitality programs around a high-traffic human circulation space. The experience of the building at ground level is alluring and gentle, with the expressive use of zinc tile cladding patterned to evoke the two-toned colouring of the little penguin species. The jury congratulates the architect for integrating this complex and demanding building within such a delicate and popular site. Congratulations, Terroir.
And I'm joined now by Scott Barmforth. Congratulations, Scott.
Thank you, Vivi.
Now, this is an extraordinary sight. I understand that some 4,000 people come each evening to see the little penguins. Is that right?
Yeah, that's at its peak capacity. Obviously, we're in challenging times and it's sort of hosting a lot less than that. But
yes.
That was the challenge for the building, to cater for such a sort of a popular capacity over the sort of year.
And obviously a very sensitive site as well. Can you give us an indication about how the team, tackled the challenges here?
Yeah, well, actually, the building is placed on the former car park. But what we had to do was sort of put up a secure fence to make sure that the sort of penguins of an evening wouldn't find their way into the construction site. On top of that, I think we had over 1 million people visit the existing facility during the construction process. So there are a lot of challenges we faced along the sort of course of the project.
And what did the team enjoy most about working on it?
Well, in some ways we probably haven't reflected that much on it, but I think it was an incredible opportunity from the outset, and one that had great responsibility, and from the client through the incredible consultant team and the builder, we all, I think, just sort of went that extra level because it was just a project that touched our hearts, and we wanted to do the best for it.
And what do you hope the legacy is going to be going forward? Obviously, we're in sort of straitened times at the moment and no one's really allowed to do anything, but what are your hopes for the future?
Oh, look, at a minor level, I hope this award sort of focuses a bit more of the spotlight on the building, and when sort of restrictions do ease, more people get down there. I'd love to see sort of as many people get back there. But of course, this is a project that comes at the end of actually a 35-year program of the buying back of the Summerlands estate by the Victorian government at the time. So it's an incredible reward, I think, for Phillip Island Nature Parks and everyone that sort of put their heart and soul into sort of that effort to save the penguins down there.
And anyone you'd like to acknowledge? I imagine it would be a fairly extensive list for a project like this.
It definitely is, and I've touched upon a few, but I'd just like to specifically acknowledge Matt Jackson and Jeff Floyd, who are at the helm of Phillip Island Nature Parks, and they did a lot to get the funding. The Victorian government for funding this sort of major project. Catherine Basterfield and Liz Stinson, the sort of current CEO and board chair. Kevin Love. Particular mention to Damien Prendergast, who sort of led the Nature Parks team and was great to work with. Gareth Phillips, the project manager. To Kane Constructions, they've had an accolade already tonight, and I can only support how fantastic they were. The consultants, Track Landscape, Wooden Grieve, and Thylacine, who sort of worked hard. There were others, of course, but they were the sort of the main ones that really worked throughout the sort of project. To our Terra team, I'm away with the sort of family celebrating my wife's birthday, so happy birthday tomorrow, Anna. But I know they're sort of gathered at Dave's place back in Hobart and celebrating. And to Dave McPeak, who put his heart and soul into the project, and Tom, who was his sort of sidekick through the construction process. And to everyone in the office, really, I think it was a project that, whether you're working on it or not, it was a very special project for the office. And this is a great accolade for our entire office.
Oh, wonderful. Well, look, congratulations once again to you and the team, Scott, and thanks so much for joining us tonight. Enjoy the birthday celebrations, and
thank you very much.
Take care. See ya.
Thank you.
Hi, we're Architectus, and you're watching the Victorian Architecture Awards.
Thanks, Architectus. That must have taken quite a bit of coordination. The next category is residential architecture, alterations and additions. Let's take a look at the shortlisted projects.
Parklife by Architecture. Ray House by Austin Maynard Architects. Garden House by BKK Architects. New Modern by Bauer Architecture. Denby Roadhouse by Claire Cousins Architects. Elm Tree Place by Eastop Architects. CLT House by FMD Architects. Lighthouse by Layan. Frankston Mid-Century Modern by MRTN Architects. Montague Street House by Noxon Architecture. Turn House by Rebecca Norton Architect. 3 Stories North by Splinter Society Architecture. and Ruckers Hill House by Studio Bright. And from the field of 13 shortlisted projects, the jury have awarded 2 commendations, 3 awards, and the named award. The commendations go to Garden House by BKK Architects and Elm Tree Place by Eastop Architects. Congratulations! The first award for residential architecture, alterations and additions goes to Ray House by Austin Maynard Architects. This is a rationally executed project providing diverse opportunities for work, play and rest, while addressing larger issues of scale, amenity and diversity. The jury applauds this fine example of context-generated architecture for inner-city Melbourne, providing a variety of rich experiences, possibilities and opportunities for its inhabitants as well as its neighbours. Congratulations, Austin Maynard Architects. And the second award goes to 3 Stories North by Splinter Society Architecture. The joy of creation is evident in this project, which has injected new life and a new way of living into a building, at the same time rediscovering its history and memory. The 3-storey void is both heroic and necessary, visually connecting the levels, and allows northern light to flood deep into the interior, while the rooms are masterful manipulation of spaces. Congratulations, Splinter Society Architecture! And the third award for residential architecture, alterations and additions goes to Ruckers Hill House by Studio Bright. Ruckers Hill House is an undeniably well-considered piece of architecture, with equally considerate and playful response and finishing to the original home internally. It continues Studio Bright's commitment in addressing how architecture contributes to streetscape and their masterful manipulation of form and space. Congratulations, Studio Bright! And the highest honour in this category, the John and Phyllis Murphy Award for Residential Architecture, Alterations and Additions goes to Frankston Mid-Century Modern by MRTN Architects. The appearance of minimal intervention belies the extensive rework that has been done in this skillfully restrained architectural response. The minimal addition of floor area and subtle realignment of roof planes blend seamlessly with the original home, while collaboration with the landscape design has further grounded this home and successfully set its roots on the site. A strong client-architect relationship is apparent, and the architects have shown great mastery in the refinishing and reinterpretation of this home, where the sense of the original self still shines. Congratulations, MRTN Architects.
And Anthony Martin joins me now. Hi Anthony, how's it going?
Very good, very shocked.
Yes,
shocked.
I could see the look of shock and surprise on your face as the announcement was made there. Congratulations.
I heard it.
Can I ask what it means to you to receive this award?
It's an enormous honour. I think that a lot of people and a lot of my colleagues consider this pretty much the hardest category to get the acknowledgement and award for. So for me, it's a really amazing honour to get that for a project that honestly I had even second thoughts about entering it in the category because of the sort of the minimal intervention that was mentioned. I thought perhaps if it got a short list, then maybe through a site visit, the jury would be able to see the merits that it had, and to actually have got through to the named award without a site visit, really, it is genuinely surprising and a massive honour. I'm really appreciative.
And what would you like us to know about this project, Anthony?
I think it's a real celebration of the house that was there, and a really great collaboration between the clients and my team and the builder and the landscape. It was really one of those projects that you actually just didn't want to end. You know, it was kind of like tinged with a bit of sadness when it came to the end of the project, because the process was as much fun as the outcome itself. So it was great.
And what will it mean to the clients that the project has received this honour this evening? Are they watching?
I hope so. Maybe they can see the rerun. But Look, I think that they were very modest, actually, Reece and Laura, and I had a really strong admiration for them. And the design process, as you might imagine, was not one about discussing form or large intervention. It was much smaller conversations about the texture and materiality of the project and maintaining the spirit of the original house, but while making a new project out of it. And they're really enjoyable conversations and a really lovely relationship that we were able to form with them. So hopefully they're really, really proud and happy about it.
Wonderful. Well, look, congratulations to you and the team. Obviously, a surprise to you this evening, and you can now go and absorb that and enjoy the celebrations in your lounge room.
I really will. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Anthony. See you.
Hi guys, we are Bower Architecture.
And we're watching the Victorian Architecture Awards.
And now to educational architecture, supported by AWS. And to introduce the shortlisted projects, we have this message from Alastair Baldwin.
Thanks, Viv, and hello everybody. I'm sad not to be doing this in person. However, 3 months in lockdown has resulted in a 45-minute struggle to get into my kilt this evening. It was not pretty. Hope everyone is safe and well. Good luck tonight. Now, here's the projects shortlisted in the category of educational architecture.
Monash University Chancellery by ARM Architecture. Arts Epicentre by Branch Studio Architects. GPFLA Learning Centre, also by Branch Studio Architects. Richmond High School by Hayball. Ian Potter Southbank Centre, University of Melbourne by John Wardle Architects. The Swift Science and Technology Centre by McBride Charles Ryan. MLC Nicholas Learning Centre by McEldowie Partners. Monash University Ian Potter Centre for Performing Arts by Peter Elliott Architecture and Urban Design. UOM Southbank End of Trip by Searle and Waldron Architecture. And RMIT Capitol Theatre by 6 Degrees Architects.
A great field of entrants, and glad you could make it into the kilt this year, Alastair. It wouldn't be the same if you hadn't. In this category, the jury have awarded 2 commendations, 3 awards, and the named award. The commendations for educational architecture go to GPFLA Learning Centre by Branch Studio Architects and Richmond High School by Hayball. Congratulations! The first award for educational architecture goes to Ian Potter Southbank Centre, University of Melbourne by John Wardle Architects. Having already received the Marion Marnie Award for Interior Architecture this evening, this project responds intelligently to the complexities of site and program. Crafted with a keen attention to detail that culminates in the creative use of precast concrete as artwork and artefact, this is a unique and engaging facility on a tight and challenging site that combines music performance, rehearsal and teaching spaces with great skill and vision. Congratulations, John Wardle Architects. And an award for educational architecture also goes to Monash University Ian Potter Centre for Performing Arts by Peter Elliott Architecture and Urban Design. Slated for demolition, this heroic piece of architecture has been painstakingly brought back to its former glory to reclaim its role of attracting and nurturing world-class talent, and has been reinstated as a jewel in the crown of the Monash Clayton campus, offering an exemplar illustration of post-war architecture reinvented for contemporary use. Congratulations, Peter Elliott Architecture and Urban Design. And the final award for educational architecture goes to the Swift Science and Technology Centre by McBride Charles Ryan. This is a well-considered building containing an array of teaching and learning experiences which engage and immerse students at every step in STEM disciplines. The architects have successfully created a space that engages students, teachers and the broader community through excellence in design in the context of the school and its design history. Congratulations, McBride Charles Ryan. And the highest honour in this category, the Henry Bastow Award for Educational Architecture, goes to Monash University Chancellery by ARM Architecture.
The jury describes this project as a thoughtful, collaborative, well-executed and crafted piece of architecture. As a building in the round, it responds to its context playfully and intelligently, with an open and inviting presence that successfully encapsulates the architect's desire to conceptualise the intellect, diversity and values of the 21st century university. It has, by design, facilitated a more collegial style of collaborative working and opened the Chancellery to the wider university community. Congratulations, ARM Architecture.
And Ian McDougall joins me once again. Congratulations, Ian, to you and the team.
Gosh, wow. That's a pretty amazing company to be in. It is very bit struck actually. Anyway, yes.
Well, I can hear your mobile phone going off there, so I presume that's words of congratulations from various people.
Yeah.
Now, we spoke about this project briefly earlier on in the night when it received the Colorbond Award. What more can you tell us about it from an educational architecture perspective?
Look, in a time when universities are struggling a lot, and universities for years have been challenged by the funding that they get, and our inability to actually fund them properly. This is a pretty amazing thing that the Monash has been able to do, to assemble such amazing buildings on their campus, and it's very. Sorry, that's. I'll just turn that off.
No, it's hilarious. Keep it going.
It is very good that when you look at the programs of projects that have gone that we just saw. It is fantastic that the universities have been able to marshal that, but now we're in a tough time and governments have to, sorry, I'm ranting now.
No, go for it. You have the podium.
Governments have to wake up to how valuable these institutions are and the intellectual culture that Australia has had for years and struggled against the lack of funding. Anyway, apart from that, the project has been we're very proud of it. It's been a great project to work on. We've had great, it's a celebration. The design itself was based on the celebration of Australian design culture. So the lineage of design culture, and Andrea worked on the research of Australian design culture and brought that into the building. Our investment in bringing contemporary Indigenous designers into the project, that's been such a joy from our point of view, and also from the university's point of view. But I guess the other thing that it points to is what universities represent and how they represent the diversity and tolerance that most of us in the community value and see as important to democratic societies. And that's what we've tried to embody in the project. And we're very chuffed to be acknowledged for that, and also the university to be acknowledged for that.
Well,
sorry for the rant.
Oh no, here, Ian, bring it on. If ever there was a forum and a time, I think this is probably it. Now, we did speak about people that you wanted to acknowledge with this project earlier, but is there anyone that you'd like to acknowledge particularly now?
Look, Charlotte Day, who helped us with a very extensive art program involved in it, including the amazing columns, the crazy columns, we call them, on the outside. And the artists who participated, Vipu, Angela, Gunraba, John, Kathy, goodness, hope I don't forget anyone, Renee, Linda, all of those people who actually created these beautiful columns, art columns, that made the Stoa what it is. It's just a sort of representation of our diverse culture. Manapan and Kayla Artists and Spacecraft, who did engaged us in the Indigenous works that are inside. I mean, the huge thanks is really to the Monash team. I mean, the Monash people who drove us to do better, Russell, Bradley, Kevin, Jocelyn, the University Design team, Shane and Shelley, and of course the Vice-Chancellor, Margaret Gardner, who actually, with the property group, really developed the project through the ideas that we had about actually representing the culture of the university. So, and of course, Andrea's told me I have to remember mentioning the ARM team again. So I will. So Jeremy, Andrea, Justin, Eliza, Aaron, I very quickly scribbled some notes down here. Ryan, Jessica, Neil, some people who used to work for us, Fiona and Andrew, Mark Jacques, Landscape, all of them were fantastic, and Oricon, all of the consultant team. This is pretty amazing to win that in this company, I have to say.
Well, look, congratulations, Ian, to you and everyone involved once again. I'm going to let you go and enjoy now and relax with the rest of the show and that drink that you have in your hand. Well done. Excellent. Enjoy the rest of the night. See ya.
Thank you. Bye.
And we will be with the final round of categories: residential architecture houses new, the Melbourne Prize, the Regional Prize, and of course, the final announcement of the evening, the Victorian Architecture Medallion, after these messages from the award sponsors.
My role is to offload my knowledge to architects that need help in windows and doors. They can cherry pick things out of my brain that they need for their project. And often when I will do a presentation, I'll have lots of people afterwards say, "Oh, I've actually got a project, could you maybe talk to me about this afterwards?" And it actually makes it fun, it makes it enjoyable, and that's actually why I love my job.
The Office of the Victorian Government Architect puts quality design at the centre of all conversations about the shape, nature and function of our cities, buildings and landscapes. Design is the essential ingredient at the heart of a successful place. It is not an optional extra. We promote high-quality design principles, processes and outcomes to make Victoria a place that our community is proud to call home.
If it's worth doing, it's worth Dulux.
The next category is residential architecture houses new, supported by the Institute's major national partner, Dulux. And to introduce the shortlist, we have this message from Lauren de Graaf.
Thanks, Viv. Hi, everyone. With our homes and personal spaces becoming more important than ever, it is my real pleasure to present this category and to be a part of tonight's event. We've all had to think of our homes a little differently, whether they've become home offices or temporary schools. Careful thought and consideration of a space and how it's going to be used is not new to these nominees. A high calibre of talent and a difficult choice for the judges. Now let's take a look at the shortlisted projects.
Cliff House by Our House Architecture. Hungry Hands by Bloxus. Edgar's Creek House by Breathe Architecture. Beaumaris House by Claire Cousins Architects. Two Sheds by Dreamer with Roger Nelson. The Good Life House by MRTN Architects. Kindred by Panov Scott Architects. Fitzroy North House by Rob Kennan Architects. And Merry Creek House by Wowoa Architecture.
And in the category of residential architecture, houses new, the jury have awarded 1 commendation, 2 awards, and the named award. The commendation goes to 2 Sheds by Dreamer with Roger Nelson. Congratulations to the team. The first award goes to The Good Life House by MRTN Architects. This house is carefully considered by the architect on so many levels. He challenges suburban preconceptions about how we enter a home and asks us to rethink how we connect with our neighbourhood. The jury describes this house as a delight in every aspect, from larger urban considerations to the deep understanding of detail and materiality. Congratulations once again to MRTN Architects. And the second award for residential architecture, houses new, goes to Fitzroy North House by Rob Kennan Architects. On a small inner-city parcel, this project celebrates every square centimetre of opportunity through rigorous site investigation, planning and form making. Rob Kennan Architects have produced a design response that respects its heritage context, maximises the potential of the site and creates a home that is sure to last a further 100 years. Congratulations, Rob Kennan Architects. And the highest honour in this category, the Harold de Brouwer Award for Residential Architecture, Houses New, goes to Kindred by Panov Scott Architects.
These generous blocks of land in Melbourne's southeastern suburbs are being held to ransom by the move to build to the boundary. And yet, here is a brave new normal, a simple, thoughtful house around an ageing elm tree. The planning of this beautiful home is crafted and cropped to complement the specific needs of 3 generations. Everywhere you look, there's thought and reason. A home that offers the best possible chances for an extended family to live and grow and love. Congratulations, Panov Scott Architects.
And I'm joined now by Anita Panov and Andrew Scott. Congratulations to you both.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I think we're a little bit blown away.
I have to say, it's very nice seeing the reaction when you hear the announcement. Congratulations. Can you tell us a little bit about this project? It sounds like an extraordinary brief, a multi-generational home.
Absolutely. So we made this home for Alf and Emma, our clients, and their 2 boys, and also Alf's parents. And they came to us with a brief to find a way that they could all live together in this home. And they had a really challenging budget, and they were looking at all of their options, and we were just so pleased that we could, I guess, compete with those options and produce a work of architecture for them that they now enjoy.
And how have they responded to the home?
I think they like it.
It certainly looks that way from the photos, I have to say.
I think we just got a message from them. Yeah. So, yeah, I think they did it better. They said, woof, woof.
No, they are, they've settled in beautifully and finding that way of living with each other and together and apart and because, Alf's parents came over from New Zealand to be here, so I
think they put it beautifully. That they talk about this idea of independence and interdependence, and those 2 things sitting side by side in really close proximity. And it's really nice in the times that we've got to go and visit them in the house just to see how they're using it as a kind of a mechanism, because it used to be an incredibly prevalent way of living. All the generations would be together, and then over time we kind of compartmentalise that process. Yeah. And so how they're doing it in their way, and there's a lot of things that we didn't expect necessarily out of it. But it's a joy to watch. It's a joy for the house to come alive through their use.
Is there anything else that you'd like us to know about this project? Perhaps what it was like for you to work on it?
It was great fun to work with these guys. I think perhaps separate or aside from that, just listening to Ian, McDougall talk about, you know, the need for diversity and to support kind of different ways of doing things. You know, I guess the other thing that we see in this project is a model for housing in our suburbs and a way of changing our suburbs that is incredibly relevant and incredibly timely. That might offer something a little bit different, which might capture more of how more of us want to live. And also to Amy's sort of introduction earlier as well, to sort of address some of those issues.
And what does it mean to you for a project, I guess, of this kind of modesty to be recognised with the named award in this category?
Yeah,
it's pretty special.
It is.
I mean, I'm not really sure what to say.
No, it's very special. We sort of looked at the context in which, of course, the award is granted, and its namesake obviously had a deep passion for architecture for everyone, and you know, in that sense, it's also a great honour to receive that award.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations to you both. A big shout out to the clients if they happen to be watching tonight. They have a great dog. Always nice to see a dog in these photos, I have to say.
Very quickly as well, because we've probably used up our time, but thank you to our team who worked on the project. Thank you to our builder, Simon Glide, and Dale Simpson at OPS, and to our wonderful clients who, you know, are everything.
Oh, fantastic, guys. Well, look, congratulations once again to everyone involved, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
We will. Thank you.
No, it's not letting me. Hi, we're 6 Degrees Architects. You're watching the Victorian Architecture Awards 2020.
And we're approaching the end of the awards announcements, but we have 3 prizes unique to the Victorian Awards yet to announce, the first of which is the Melbourne Prize. The Melbourne Prize recognises projects that have made a significant and unique contribution to the Melbourne metropolitan area. The Melbourne Prize is supported by the University of Melbourne. And to introduce the shortlisted projects, Julie Willis has sent through this message.
Thanks, Viv. Hi, everyone. Best of luck to all the contenders at the AIA Victorian Awards this year. The quality of the work is always so high, and the design innovation evident in the projects is always an inspiration. Now let's take a look at the 3 projects shortlisted for the Melbourne Prize.
State Library Victoria redevelopment by Architectus and Schmidt Hammerlassen Architects. Carlton Learning Precinct, Kohler by Law Architects. And Monash University Ian Potter Centre for Performing Arts by Peter Elliott Architecture and Urban Design.
Thanks so much, Julie, and to the University of Melbourne, and a great field of entrants. So let's see who has won the 2020 Melbourne Prize. State Library Victoria redevelopment by Architectus and Schmidt Hammerlassen Architects. Congratulations once again.
Recognised with an award for heritage conservation and an award for public architecture this evening, the jury commends this project's skillful and soundly researched design framework, which will maintain the relevance of this much-loved Melbourne institution for many generations to come. It is a most worthy recipient of the 2020 Melbourne Prize. Congratulations, Architectus and Schmidt Hammerlassen Architects.
And I am joined now by Ruth Wilson. We're having a few issues with the video on the call, but I think I have your audio there, Ruth. Is that right?
Yes, hello, I'm sorry about that. Not sure what happened with the video.
That's quite okay, that's quite okay. While I've got you, congratulations on the many awards you've received this evening for this particular project. Can you give us a little bit of background as to what was involved in this project? It looks like an extraordinary collaboration.
It certainly was. So we had an architectural collaboration with Schmidt Hammerlassen from Denmark, and then a wider team that involved Andronis Conservation Architecture, advising on all the heritage aspects, and then a fantastic consultant team of engineers and specialists who really, you know, it was all about problem solving and working out solutions within this incredible heritage fabric that, has 2 million people through its doors every year. So it's an incredible place. It was great to get to know it, and really great to see it redeveloped.
And how does it feel to have created a project that's had such an extraordinary impact on the city of Melbourne?
Yeah, look, the opening day, I think for a lot of us was an absolute highlight of our lives, just to see the public come in and see spaces that had been closed for decades. I think Melburnians have, the older ones have a memory of what's now called the Ian Potter Queen's Hall. But there's whole generations who'd never seen it, and to see them come into that remarkable hall for the first time was really incredible.
Oh.
Very humbling.
Oh, well, that's wonderful, Ruth. Well, look, congratulations to you and the team on the many wins this evening. Is there anyone that you'd like to acknowledge before I let you go?
Oh, there's so many. Look, first of all, our client, of course, the State Library, led by Kate Tawney, with Sarah Slade and Margaret Ford doing a lot of the heavy lifting, and just having the amazing SLV team behind them. Development Victoria with Hannah Clement leading that team, and of course all the donors. So about a quarter of the funding of the project came from private donors, the Ian Potter Foundation and the John and Miriam Wiley Foundation being major sponsors. Our partners, Schmidt Hammerlassen with Elif and Yetta, who I think are watching on the other side of the world. And donors who I've mentioned, Built, fabulous contractor, did an amazing job. And last but not least, the amazing Architectures team. And I've got to name them all, sorry. So it's John Sprant, Simon Farr, Matt Spinazzi, Thomas Harvey, Sarah Iano, Jaden Peacock, and also David Haar and Lucy Croft. Thank you so much.
Oh, wonderful. Well, a big congratulations to the entire team if you're watching now, and of course to the team in Denmark as well. Congratulations on your many awards this evening. And Ruth, thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoy the rest of the evening.
Thank you, I will. Thank you.
And now to the Regional Prize, which recognises projects that have made a significant contribution to regional Victoria. Let's take a look at the projects in the running. Shepparton Law Courts redevelopment by Architectus and GHD Woodhead with Guymer Bailey Architects. Tedesca by Cox Architecture. Geelong Arts Centre by Hassel. Penguin Parade Visitor Centre by Terroir. Ocean Grove Lifesaving Club by Woodmarsh. And Mount Macedon Primary School by Workshop Architecture. And without any further ado, the 2020 Regional Prize goes to Penguin Parade Visitor Centre by Terroir. In addition to receiving the 2020 William Wardell Award for Public Architecture, the jury applauds this project for delivering on an extraordinary vision, providing a world-class facility of architectural excellence in this tiny, significant and conservationally sensitive place. It is an exceptional building of integrity, detail, resolution and architectural excellence. Congratulations once again, Terroir. And Scott Barmforth is back again to say a few words on receiving the Regional Prize. Scott, congratulations.
Thank you. That's a fantastic honour.
Can you tell me just broadly the contribution this makes to regional Victoria, which is what this prize is all about?
Yeah, look, I think it to us it's always been sort of a project that sort of shows what can be done in the regions by a incredibly committed client who of course knows that area incredibly well and is one of the major employers down in that region. But right through this project, I think ourselves, the full consultant team, the builder showed incredible commitment to the region to getting the project done. So I think it's a sort of a lighthouse project for sort of building in the regions.
Wonderful. Well, look, congratulations once again. We had a pretty long chat earlier about it, so we'll keep this one pretty short, I'm afraid. But look, congratulations to everyone involved and enjoy the rest of the night.
Thank you very much.
And now to the final announcement of the evening and the highest honour that can be bestowed at the Victorian Architecture Awards, the Victorian Architecture Medal, which is supported by the Office of the Victorian Government Architect. And it is my great pleasure to hand over to Jill Garner to make the announcement.
Thank you, Viv. We're delighted to continue our support for the awards by sponsoring the 2020 Victorian Architecture Medal. We've seen some great projects awarded tonight, but each year just one remarkable project is chosen to receive the medal. This award is a reminder of the responsibility we have as architects to design with great regard for the long-term impact of what we do. Our best works go on to become Victoria's built legacy. I'm delighted to announce that the winner of the 2020 Victorian Architecture Medal is the Broadmeadows Town Hall by Kirsten Thompson Architects.
This project re-establishes a strong civic character and heart within the City of Hume town centre. This is a project about people and places, about the local community, the local history and local identity. As an adaptive reuse and conservation project, it has skillfully integrated old and new built fabric and thoughtfully connected community pride, community spirit and community optimism with past, present and future. Congratulations once again, Kirsten Thompson Architects. And I'm joined once again by Kirsten Thompson, who I don't think was expecting to receive this prize. So we don't have video, but we do, I think, have audio. Kirsten, are you there?
Hi, I am, but this is the great tragedy because I've actually managed to get a few people from the team on my phone via Teams. So there's not just me, and there's all us who worked on this, but you can't even see us. So
well,
you weren't expecting it clearly.
Well, no, but I can only suggest you take some photos, put them on social media. I think the tags are in the description box below on YouTube, so everyone around the world can see the fabulous. Oh, we have you! Great, excellent.
Okay, I think that was my error. Yeah, there we go. And there's Kelly, Martin, Toby, Lloyd, Caroline, who are on the team. So, yeah.
Well, congratulations. I'm glad we can incorporate them into the show. Well done on the technology there. Now, Kirsten, obviously this is a bit of a surprise, but can you just say a few words in response to receiving the Victorian Architecture Medal?
Look, it's a phenomenal surprise. Apart from that, I think I'm absolutely delighted for Hume and the significance of it as a community project, especially right now when we're also isolated. Spaces of gathering and public space especially is so important. So the Broadmeadows Town Hall in its long life has been a legacy to the value of public space, and may it continue to do that. We need public space more than ever. It's under threat, and as architects I think we are guardians of that. So the project is, I hope, contributing to that legacy of the value of our spaces that we share as communities in all our diversities. And and I think too it's a project that is about using what you find really well. We don't always have to start again on sites. We can work with what we find, we can add layers. And our cities we value for the layers that are there. So it's an example of that. It was sadly a bit unloved when we started this project, and I think the town hall itself was being used for furniture storage from the council, a bit dusty, and I remember taking a photo of our bum imprints on the seats in the hall because they hadn't been used for so long and the dust was there. So it's pretty fantastic to see it now have life on so many levels and for so many people in that community right now. So Yeah.
Oh. Well, congratulations, Kirsten, to you and the team once again on this very well-deserved award. Do you have a message for the people of Broadmeadows tonight?
I would hope that it's a project that people can feel have a reflection of themselves in somehow, and that they matter, communities matter, and the buildings are a reflection of that. And so if we can care for that, it can give some civic pride. And I think that's a really important part of what we do. It's valuing people through the environments that we create is really, really important. I think we're seeing that especially right now, even with lockdowns, you know, how important our spaces are to us and the care that we show through our built fabric for our community. And it's our job to be guardians and uphold that potential. So, yeah.
Well, thank you, Kirsten. To you and the team, congratulations. And you can now officially go and just relax and enjoy the rest of the night. Final cross.
Thank you very much. You can see a last little sort of grab of people's faces on our phone. Amazing.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much, everybody, and a huge win for Hume. Thank you.
And that brings the Victorian Architecture Awards announcements to a close. I'd like to thank you all for joining us this evening as we've celebrated architecture across the state. I'd like to congratulate all of the winners and also everyone who entered this year's awards. I'd also like to thank the national corporate partners and local supporters who've made events such as this possible and for your ongoing support of the Institute of Architects. Thank you. And while tonight marks the final of the Architecture Awards announcements for projects in Australia, I do hope you can join me next Friday at midday Australian Eastern Standard Time for the International Chapter Awards, where we celebrate the work of Australian architects overseas. Until then, stay safe, take care, and I hope to see you soon.
You've been watching the 2020 Victorian Architecture Awards, proudly supported by BlueScope, Brickworks and Dulux, Lysart, Fielders and Bondor, Built Environment Channel, Planned Cover and Architecture Media, as well as AWS, Bates Smart, City of Melbourne, Creffy, Dormacaba, Heritage Council of Victoria, Mackay Timber, Office of the Victorian Government Architect, RMIT, University of Melbourne, and WSP.